I am proud to introduce to you the state of Birland. And I want to invite you to travel with me from your country to a desert. A desert in the African continent, located between Sudan and Egypt. It is a land with its own political border, and it is described in the Wikipedia as terra nullius, meaning I'm sure you want to know how big is this no man's land. It is 2,060 square kilometers. It is small but bigger than Malta, bigger than Brunei. It is bigger than Singapore and bigger than Dubai. Sometime in 2015, a man from Belgium have learned about this land, which is defined as terra nullius or no man's land. And he saw the photos of this land and some inhabitants, and his heart went out to them. He went to visit this land and decided to make this a real country when he saw some people holding a paper and saying, "Don't live without us, Beerland." From then on, the ruler and founder, Emir Hayyawi, began his long journey of starting to make this country a real country. From then on, the ruler and founder, Emir Hayyawi, began his long journey of starting to make this country a real country. He started to draw out his plan, and he dreamed to make it a Dubai of Africa. As of this moment, there are some 3,000 stateless people and refugees who are willing to live in Birland once it is ready to receive citizenship. But the journey for the founder is not easy. You know, it is not easy to make a country, a new country. You may ask, why no man's land? Is it because there's no human ever claimed this land, or no human has ever stepped their foot on this land? The answer is a lot. There are actually numerous and hundreds of humans who have stepped their foot and visited this land and raised their flag and took photos of themselves when they visited the land. Before I walk you through this divine and precious land, let me tell you a little story on how I became engaged in Beerland or to Birland. It was in August 2020 when I first heard the word Birtawil. Birtawil means a long water well. In August 15, 2020, I was having a conversation with the King of Kutai Mulawarman, the Maharaja Kutai Mulawarman, MSPA Lanshareksa Faklevi. Then all of a sudden, he sent me a PDF file. And the King of Kutai asked me to explain to him what was written in the letter.
To share with you about this Beerland state, because this is a newly emerging country of this world, and this will be the 55th country in the African continent. It is very interesting to know that there is a new emerging country, Beerland. Who would have thought that there is still a free and claimed land in this world? That after explaining and translating the letter of appointment of the Maharaja Kutai Mulawarman, the rest is history. From the day in August 2020 that I decided to support Beerland in establishing it as a country, and until today, I had never changed my decision in supporting it and really put my time, effort, my life in Birland. So, where is Birland located? Birland is located between Sudan and Egypt in the Birtawil land, not within any country. It has its own international border and map, which is why I know that this will be a very interesting topic for everyone, and for teachers, for professors, for researchers. This is a very good subject to know, and we need to tell the classroom, our students, even the teachers, other teachers, the book publishers, the writers, the author, that there is a land named Birland of Birtawil land. So one can ask, how many inhabitants are there in Birland? Or is there any living human being there? Maybe students will ask, are there any animals there, teacher? Or are there trees and other living creatures living in Birland? You know, Birland is never without human being. In fact, since generation to generation, there are already inhabitants in this land. Some Ababda natives enter the land to graze constantly. They are the shepherds. Some of them really live there, inside a hidden village. So anyone who will visit Beerland will not easily find these natives or inhabitants of Birland because they are in a hidden location. They live a nomadic life and in nomadic huts. Some hut houses and hundreds of population who are stateless. Stateless is different from refugees. Most of refugees have their own citizenship. They came from an established country, but they left their country because of war, famine, and other severe problems and difficulties that they are facing every day, that they have to fled away from their own country, living as refugee in another country. But stateless is different because most of the refugees have their own citizenship. They have their own birth certificate, they have their own passport, they normally undergo education process, and they have IDs, identification cards. But stateless people, they don't have their own citizenship. They have no birth certificate, they have no passport, they have no education. And that's why they are called stateless, because they have no country, they have no state that they can claim. Like, I am a Filipino, I live in the Philippines, I was born in Philippines. I have my passport, I have my primary, secondary, college, university education, and I have several identification. But stateless, they don't have. So these natives in this area, Beerland, having nothing and no country, recognize them. So they are stateless. And that's why we can understand why they have to hide, why they have to live in a hidden village. So, what is the official language of those nomadic people in Beerland? Their official language is English, and some using their local language such as the Nubian language. And what will be the official religion of the area when finally it is being established as a country, as a nation, or as a monarchy? Birland religion will be humanity and will respect all religions and beliefs. What is the system of the government? The system of the government will be African Democratic Humanitarian Kingdom. Is there a constitution for Beerland? There is. We have drafted a temporary constitution document until the state is established. Is it possible to apply for citizenship and passport? Currently, we do not issue citizenship or passport. We only grant ID membership until we have a physical presence on the ground or receive some recognition from established country. As of this moment, we have 7 kingdoms who have recognized us as a country and who have signed Memorandum of Understanding and support and cooperation with the Birland state, namely the three kingdoms in Indonesia. The first one is none other than the Kerajaan Mulawarman Kingdom of the Kutai Mulawarman King. He signed this and submitted it to the United Nations in August 2020, together with some 50 leaders of organizations. How do you finance Beerland, you may ask? We finance Beerland by ourselves, from administrators and supporters, donations for now. What is the Beerland status then? Now, with the title His Royal Majesty King, Dr. Emir A. Hayawi, he registered Birtawil in the United Nations in the Department of Economics and Societies. Then in 2017, the stateless Abadda, or the native people, laid hand in the Birtawil land for the Beerland. In 2019, Beerland is recognized by Startup Societies Foundation, and it was on their map. You can check the link of it. In 2020, Beerland registered profile in United Nations Environment Program, while another registration in Global Trade, United Nations Global Trade. Then what is Beerland's opinion on international politics and conflicts? Beerland is neutral and does not interfere with other countries' policies. It is also good for you to know that Beerland will be a very friendly country like Brunei. We will be a free country. We will be friends to everyone. And this is very important. Beerland will never be a political country or a business. Beerland will be purely humanitarian country. So that, being a humanitarian, even the blind with capability to think and with the ability to capable to bring in ideas to give his service, even he's blind, we can put in a position in the administration or departments in Birland. Even a handicap, but with capable mind, we can put in the administration as well, because it shows that we are a real humanitarian country. So what are the next steps for the Beerland? We are into building houses and structures and to provide services for inhabitants, and we'll put some refugees, but more stateless or permanent and temporary residents. And we are now seeking good international relations, recognitions, and cooperations for established countries. We have our small government, and we have our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and we have two ministers there. One is the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the other one is the representative to the United Nations. And we have several international representatives, like we have in Cambodia, We also have representative in Colombia. We have international representative in China, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in South Africa. We also have in East and Central Africa and the Horn of Africa. We also have in Sweden. And yes, of course, we have the general representative and the prime minister of Beerland. Now, is it safe to visit Beerland? Yes, indeed. It is very safe. As you saw on the video shown to you, the photos, there are even those adventurous people who toured in Birland and spent their Christmas seasons, their Christmas Eve in the land. They love to camp out there, sleep under the open sky with their sleeping bag. And because Beerland is a landlocked, you can use even bicycle, motorcycle, cars, trucks, jeepneys to go there. And as we prepare in building a community in Beerland soon, we're also going to bring in special seeds, palm seeds, which only can be found in the Nubian desert. So we're going to plant the Nubian palm trees. This is a rare kind of palm seeds and palm tree, which only can grow in the Nubian desert because Birland is in the Nubian desert. And for the wrap up, you may go to this one-click link. We made a one link for all the social media accounts of Beerland. Just click this link tree and you will be entering all the Beerland accounts, Twitter and other social media. Once again, for additional information, so that you may not forget, the founder is now the ruler and president of the state of Beerland, His Royal Majesty King, Dr. Emir A. Hayawi. And based on his plan, Beerland will be a purely humanitarian country. I now would like to thank everyone who listened and watched this documentary-like video presentation about the state of Beerland. This is Her Royal Highness Princess Professor Dr. Eden S. Trinidad from the Philippines, the pioneer, first appointed Prime Minister of the state of Beerland. Thank you very much.